What happens when someone asks for space, and the other person finally gives it permanently?
Does she want space or does she want a divorce? How can you tell between the difference between a wife just needing space to do things on her own and relax on her own versus a wife trying to plot a divorce on you? The answer lies in the subtle signs that she gives you. The answer lies in the changes of her behaviors towards you. Let me explain. When a woman just wants space to relax on her own, she will still feel a sense of responsibility and commitment to you and her family. But when a woman is plotting a divorce against you, her behaviors will start to change. However, it's actually not a change in an increase of negative behaviors. It's actually a change in an increase of positive behaviors. All of a sudden, she's just fine and okay with everything about the relationship and everything that you do. Life feels suddenly extremely pleasant, even when conflicts go unresolved. This shows me as a psychotherapist that clearly she just doesn't care to fix any issues anymore because she's simply too tired, or she doesn't want to. It's a very intelligent facade. To be honest, a lot of my clients fell for it. That's why I constantly hear everything was going great and suddenly she just asked for a divorce.
For a long time, the idea of a break sounded harmless. Take time apart, reset emotions, come back stronger. But in reality, a break isn't a pause button. It's often the beginning of the end.
You know what I've noticed? Women will leave a marriage because they are just unhappy. But men, they will stay through the years of attitude, rejection, and flat out disrespect, trying to hold on to the promise they made. And that's the difference. Women chase happiness, but men fight to keep commitment. And that might sting a little, but it's true. There is a big difference between being unhappy and being ungrateful. Unhappy can be worked on. It can be fixed with effort, communication, and humility. Ungrateful, that's when you stop seeing the good right in front of you. Sometimes it is not that your husband stopped trying. It's that you stopped noticing. You stopped thanking him. You stopped respecting him. You stopped showing him the love you expect back. And eventually, even the strongest man gets tired of being treated like he doesn't matter. Men do not usually give up fast. They give up quietly. And by the time they do, it's not because they stopped loving you. It's because they were done begging to be loved back. So before you say you are just unhappy, ask yourself, are you giving the same effort and respect you are asking for?
Because once distance is introduced, everything changes. Routines break, habits shift, emotional attachment weakens. The person who was once central becomes optional. And that shift can happen faster than expected.
Is it a good idea to take a break but not get divorced?
Oh, I think that's bullshit. A break, quote unquote, or a separation or a trial separation, none of those ever work. In my experience, they're always what I call them, a divorce with training wheels. That's what I call those. And the reality is what happens sometimes is these are relationships that were supposed to be headed towards divorce anyhow. And when they get on their own, they see all the things they didn't see when they were in it, all the problems that they kind of glazed over. So those are the relationships that when you feel like you need a break, basically you're saying we need to break it off.
A lot of people assume control during a break. They think they can step away and return whenever they want. But relationships don't work like subscriptions you can pause. Once you disconnect, the other person starts adjusting. And sometimes they adjust too well.
If your wife has said that she wants a divorce and you feel stunned, devastated, hopeless, caught off guard, and you want to reconcile your marriage, you need to listen to this video. By the time a woman is ready for divorce, she has been checked out of the relationship for quite some time. It is vital that you handle this situation appropriately, okay? If you want to reconcile your marriage, marriage is a huge deal. Divorce is a huge deal. If you don't want this to play out, sharing custody of your kids and losing your wife, you have to understand what the science says about what motivates people to want to reconcile a relationship. For women, the biggest predictor of a desire to reconcile is a deep feeling of loss. So a lot of women get into a state where they have been hyper-focused on the negative aspects of the relationship to where they are not even paying attention to the positive aspects of a relationship. And so when you allow a separation period to play out that mimics divorce, they can feel loss. The loss of your emotional support, the loss of your financial support, sharing their children, somebody that can't fix the lawnmower, right? When it breaks, having to pay for things to be done around the house that you normally would have done, okay? Because she doesn't have the skills or the strength. You have to let her feel the loss. If she wants to make a big girl decision to end her marriage, you have to show her that there are big girl consequences. This doesn't mean that you have not expressed to her your desire to stay in the marriage and a desire to work on it. But what you should not do is beg and plead and allow her to use you for all of the good things that you provided in the marriage while giving you absolutely nothing in return and just saying she's going to divorce you. Okay? You don't shower her with gifts. You do not write her handwritten letters about your feelings. You do not come over to fix the lawnmower when it won't work or fix the washing machine. You do not give her all of your money. You give her what a court would order you to give her. Okay? And that's it. And allow her to understand the deep consequences of this ginormous decision. Okay? How a no contact period plays out, or a limited contact period if you have children, is so nuanced depending upon your partner's attachment style. I can give you personal one-on-one advice on how to save your marriage if you reach out to me at datingdecodercoach@gmail.com.
Instead of waiting, they rebuild. They focus on themselves, their peace, their routine. And slowly they realize something uncomfortable. Life feels calmer without the uncertainty. That's where things flip.
A lot of the times, men think that they fucked up a relationship just because the female left him. But what she's not gonna tell him, especially as of right now, is she left because it was just how she was feeling in the moment. Me personally, I'm fortunate enough to be smart enough to not leave based on feelings, right? Because I'm a committed person. But a lot of these females, they're a little immature, and it's just like in the moment. It's an in the moment thing. And then they're all like, shit, I left, but how can I even come back from that? Like, you know, it's kind of embarrassing for her because it's all like, I left for no reason, and if I come back, then I'm gonna look stupid, right? Like, I'm telling you, a lot of women have egos, so it might take them a long time to come back. With me personally, I'm humble. I'm very humble. So if I leave a man because I was being a little stupid and impulsive, I'm gonna come back and admit it, right? I mean, it's not gonna take me 1 hour to realize that, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, maybe you didn't fuck up. Maybe she was just trying to protect herself and she was being a little sabotagic. So at the end of the day, like, I'm not telling you that you are perfect. We both know that you weren't. But what I'm saying is, like, you guys need to understand. Women don't be all like, oh, I'm just going to leave this guy because he disrespected me. No, it's, I'm going to leave this guy because I feel upset that he's not doing this for me. And I'm like, sure, I guess women mentally check out before they leave. But a lot of the times, that's not the case. Like, a female can be so emotional that she just leaves you, right? Because she has these standards in her head, and then you're not doing it, and it's like, I'm gonna leave, right? So, yeah, take accountability for the contribution that you made to it, but I don't want you to put the full blame on yourself because, like, no. And of course, women are gonna go in my comments and they're not gonna admit to this, right? Why would they? Like I told y'all, because it's embarrassing. They're not humble enough to admit this. So, yeah, I'm the one that's gonna fucking tell y'all the fucking truth. But these women are all like, not me though. They're not self-aware enough to realize that they're a problem in some sort of capacity. Sure, it may be true that some women ain't like that, but you get to decipher this, not a random chick in my comments trying to disagree with the shit that I say. I don't believe them unless I believe them. Okay? Because what they're not doing is, yeah, they're saying, I'm not like that, but they're not giving context. Like, oh, your ex like slapped you into tomorrow and you didn't come back to him. Oh yeah, well, right. 101 coaching in bio.
Because the one who asked for space expects a return. They assume things will still be there when they come back. But the other person may have already moved on mentally. Not out of revenge, just clarity. And that clarity is hard to reverse.
Husbands, does your wife want out of the marriage? I've been there. I know what it's like to stay up till 2, 3 in the morning, wondering how can I fix this? I just love her and miss her so much. But guys, I'm here to tell you, whatever you're doing is not working. I did everything. Buying flowers, apologizing, telling her how I feel. She doesn't care about those things. She cares about action. She wants to see that you're emotionally steady, not hear words. If you want to restore your marriage, listen closely. It takes time and patience. Marriage didn't fall apart overnight, so it's not going to change overnight. You have to change. Because the same man she left is not the man she comes back to. Guys, I did the work and my marriage is fully restored and it is flourishing. If you want to work with me one-on-one through private coaching, comment or DM the word coach for details and I'll get back to you.
Once someone experiences peace without constant tension, it becomes difficult to go back to what felt unstable. The emotional dependency fades, replaced by control. And control changes decisions.
Well, the thing is that there's a good amount of women that genuinely feel like this, like what you said, that they just want men to give them space to go out and have fun. And then there's like another group of women that like, I want to meet new people. How do I meet new men? The problem isn't necessarily men needing to give women space. The problem is that if a woman says no, men just genuinely, if they're not a respectful man, they will keep egging it on until it's uncomfortable. Because for whatever reason, every woman who says no, they're playing hard to get. That is the real problem.
So what does it mean if a woman tells you that she needs some space? Well, usually it means that she lost interest and it's technically the end of the relationship. Usually there is no coming back when a woman says that she has already made up her mind.
Now, fellas, I know many of us have heard this at least once in our dating careers. It's not you, it's me. The truth of the matter is, she's most likely already even talking to somebody else. And this break and this space that she needs, she's most likely going to go and experiment with this other guy. And if things don't work out with him, she might come back. Either that or she just doesn't even want to be with you anymore. Now, I've been there before and I know it hurts, but a lot of times it's things that we've done ourselves. Sometimes we as men do things to depolarize the relationship, we do things to turn her off, and we do things to lower her total attraction towards us. A lot of us guys actually fall off of who we were in the beginning of the relationship. A lot of us guys will get into a relationship and fall off of our mission. Subconsciously, this is very unattractive to a woman. Thus, she'll start to fall back and then might even start pursuing other men. Now, when a woman needs space, there is a small chance she could actually need space. But let's be honest, women that are in love with you really don't want space. When a woman really likes you, she wants to be in your skin if she could. But fellas, if you are experiencing this right now, it's going to be okay. Don't mope around and wait for her. Get back on the grind and do what you're supposed to do. Feel what you feel, and then it's time to get back on your mission. You got this. But ladies, I really want to know what y'all think about it. So let me know what you think in the comments. And follow my elevator.
Now the break isn't temporary anymore. It becomes a turning point. A moment where one person steps away. And the other realizes they don't need to wait. That's where the backfire happens.
When you confront someone on their behavior and they immediately tell you that they need space, but that space lasts weeks to months at a time, this is actually a manipulation tactic. This is to bypass being held accountable and responsible for their behavior so they don't have to deal with the reprimand of their behavior. So they will tell you that they need space, disappear for weeks to months at a time, and eventually they will come back into your life and pretend that nothing happened. This is someone that uses time and social context to their advantage, thinking to themselves that because enough time has passed that is an automatic erase or apology. This is done on purpose because when they do come back, enough time has passed that if you are the one to bring up the problem back up, then you seem like you're somebody that holds a grudge, that you can't just let go of the past. And that is how they manipulate you. They run away from being held accountable and responsible, mask it as them protecting their peace and needing space from the situation, basically just running away from the problem, giving it enough time that if you dare bring it up when they do come back, then they can flip it easy on you and make you feel like you're the one holding a grudge. This shames you, then makes you feel guilty for even bringing up the subject, basically training you and conditioning you in the future to not bring up anything because they will do this behavior again. And if another situation arises and you try to bring up the subject, try to fix it, talk about it, they will do the exact same thing. They will need space, disappear for weeks to months at a time, come back, pretend nothing happened. If you bring it up, you're the problem. So sooner or later, you learn and you are conditioned to not say anything because they will flip it on you and make you feel guilty for even bringing it up. It is a whole manipulation tactic using the silent treatment and deflection and avoidance. And the moment you see someone doing this to you, run for the hills. They know exactly what they're doing. They're just trying to avoid getting called out on their bad behavior. They're trying to avoid the reprimand of their bad behavior. It's not worth it. Let them go.
Because the expectation was separation without consequence. But reality brings consequence without warning. And by the time it's realized, the dynamic has already changed.
Women don't give a fuck about being married anymore. They have no interest in having a husband. They have dealt with enough men in their lifetime to say, I'm good. I don't want anything to do with this. I don't want no part of this. Y'all can have it. I choose peace. Women have got to a point in this world that they would rather not ever be married or not ever be near a fucking man again because they know that trauma, drama, bullshit, lies, excuses, and empty promises are attached to a man. They would rather live their lives in peace with their dogs and their cats and absolutely never have to deal with the bullshit a man brings to them. All the lies, all the bullshit, all the pain, all the sorrow, all the suffering. They don't want to deal with it anymore. They would rather be alone. They want to come home. They want to kick their shoes off from a day of work or wherever the fuck they've been. And they want to kick their shoes off. They want to go in the kitchen. They want to pour themselves a glass of wine, have a cocktail, have a sparkling water. They want to go to their couch. They want to kick their feet up. They want to watch their favorite show. Or they want to sit there and read a motherfucking book in peace and sit with their cat and their dog and not have to hear anything that a man has to offer or has to say to her. Women don't give a fuck about being married anymore. I love you. Hope this helps some of you.
In the end, a break doesn't pause a relationship. It tests whether it was strong enough to survive distance. And sometimes the answer comes back very quickly.
Men stopped playing by the rules. And now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.